Did you know that we actually have Muzan's own personal thoughts on what he thought of each of his upper rank demons? This is going to be a very interesting video, because first we'll talk about what Muzan thought of the upper moon, and then we'll discuss the upper moon demon whom he genuinely hated. As for the source, these will be from the first official Demon Slayer fan book. Rejoice people, you're about to learn interesting stuff about Muzan's apathy. If you all are liking the content so far, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends, and please feel free to debate in the comment section below. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I know we can do it. My name is TK. Let's get into some anime. Starting off with Gyutaro and Daki. Muzan thinks of Daki as a stupid child, while Gyutaro is actually one of his favorites. He holds Gyutaro's greedy character in high esteem, however. We don't know exactly what he thinks of Kaigaku because this data book came before Kaigaku was revealed to be an upper moon, but let's just say he didn't hold him in high regard either. Next, we have Gyokko. Muzan genuinely likes Gyokko, though not as much as he likes Gyutaro. He also likes Gyokko's pots. They're pretty and they can be sold for a lot of money. Now, I'm sure you guys must have wondered who is funding Muzan's demon empire. Well, it looks like it's Gyokko's pots. Moving on, Muzan thinks Hantengu is annoying and intolerable sometimes, but he still calls him normal. And as far as Nakime, he likes her a lot because of how convenient her ability is. Nakime's blood demon art, Infinity Castle manipulation, was pivotal and vital to Muzan trapping all of the demon slayers during the Infinity Castle arc of the Demon Slayer manga. Finally, we have the top 3 upper moon. Muzan may have called Akaza a failure to his face, but deep down, Akaza is his favorite upper moon, since Akaza is serious and loyal. But then we have Doma. Guys, this is the upper rank moon demon that Muzan hates. As for why exactly he hates him, we'll talk about that in a minute. First, let's cover Kokushibo. Believe it or not, Muzan actually thinks of Kokushibo as a business partner. Muzan is a narcissist, so that's probably the most respectful way Muzan can look at just about anyone. Though I guess it could also be because Kokushibo is the brother of the man he fears the most. He may fear him a little as well. And possibly as a way to keep someone in control who he may fear, he became a demon and therefore under Muzan's control. Anyways, that's all for the other upper moon. Let's talk about Doma. So why does Muzan hate Doma? Well, maybe hate is a strong word because all he has said is that he doesn't really particularly care or like Doma. Anyways, the most simple and straightforward answer to this question is how even Muzan himself is unable to read Doma. He is unpredictable, and I guess you could argue that Muzan sees his own reflection in Doma. Maybe he hates Doma because for what it's worth, he reminds him of himself? We talked about Doma before in the Inosuke video and the Shinobu video, but let's take a few minutes to properly dissect and understand his character. What is it about Doma that just pisses you off? I mean, even the King of Demons himself hates Doma. You see, throughout the entire Demon Slayer series, Doma is by far the only true psychopath. Yes, you can call Muzan a psycho as well, but that's not Muzan's key character trait. His key character trait is narcissism, and unlike Doma, he is a bit easier to understand in why he does what he does. It's also interesting to note here how Doma did lose his memories of the time he was a human. While we feel sorry for what happened to Akaza and pity Kokushibo for the choices he made, we don't feel anything toward Doma. There is no sad backstory or character flaw. He is just an irredeemable piece of garbage through and through. Although friendly and outspoken, and he is indeed a very charismatic individual, he also has sick beliefs and habits like devouring his cult followers under the pretense that he is actually setting them free. He believes he is saving them from their suffering by letting them live inside of his body. Now keep this in mind because I'm about to show you that he doesn't even believe his own beliefs. On one hand, you have him saying that he is actually saving his followers by letting them live inside his body. But on the other hand, he genuinely did not want to devour Inosuke's mother because he liked her and enjoyed her company. If he truly believed his own beliefs, he would have devoured her and in turn freed her of her suffering. He eventually did only because she tried to escape. Much like Muzan, Doma also doesn't hold humans in very high regard. Not in the sense that demons are better as most other demons do, but in the sense that he himself is better. He looks down on them for being so pathetic and stupid, and also pities them for the same exact reason. The one thing that makes him different from Muzan is how he isn't afraid of anything and he doesn't experience pain either. Muzan ended up with permanent PTSD because of the fear he had of Yoriichi, but if it was Doma in his stead, he would have just shrugged it off. Now you may be wondering, why would Muzan turn someone like Doma into a demon? The answer is simple. Muzan has turned a stupid number of people into demons. Some are relevant, some because members of the 12 Gazuki, but most of them are irrelevant. Sometimes he turns people into demons because he is trying to prey on their fears and insecurities. Take Kokushibo, Tamayo, and Rui for example. Other times, it's because he is impressed by them in some way, shape, or form. Akaza is a good example of this case. Now, in Doma's case, it is fair to assume that Muzan probably didn't expect him to get this strong. He must have been surprised when Doma became strong enough to be recognized as Upper Moon too. But it makes sense why he became this strong. Unlike others, he always had a good supply of young, nutritious women at his disposal. He basically ate his way into becoming this strong. By the way, the second official fan book talks about how after Muzan turned Doma into a demon, Doma made Muzan the central figure of worship in his cult. So maybe he turned Doma into a demon because the cult was a good source of food, like how he turned Daki into a demon? Keep in mind though that Doma became the head of the Eternal Paradise cult when he was just a child. His parents thought that he could communicate with the heavens or something because of his rainbow colored eyes. Though of course he didn't start eating the cult followers until he became a demon, and I hope that was indeed the case. Akaza also hates Doma, but Doma has no negative feelings toward him. He literally does not care. In fact, he tries to act like Akaza's best friend, which obviously pisses Akaza off even more. Alright, if being a total psychopath and unhinged sociopath wasn't enough, Doma is also a masochist. He excitedly asked Muzan about what kind of self-harm he should inflict on himself for their failure to do what Muzan has been asking for the last 1,000 years. And he also fell in love with the woman who triggered his downfall. Yes, after his death, he finally experienced his first emotion. He falls in love with Shinobu, the insect pillar of the Demon Slayer Corps, whom he was able to kill, but was eventually defeated by her in the end. That's right guys, a true masochist. Overall, it's easy to understand why Muzan disliked Doma. He couldn't understand or predict him because of how unpredictable he is. He couldn't control him with fear. He couldn't control him using unresolved attachments either because Doma didn't have any unresolved attachments. For a narcissist like Muzan, someone he can't control or understand is a liability, and not an asset, but he has still kept Doma around mostly because he was useful. By the way, I'm not saying Muzan couldn't read Doma, he definitely could and did, but it's more about how he couldn't understand Doma. And let's not overcomplicate this guys, I mean of course Muzan wouldn't like Doma. It just makes sense for him not to like Doma. But what do you guys think? Is Doma a well-written character or not? As always, I'm looking forward to reading your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you guys are enjoying the content, please feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share with anyone that you know. My name is TK, loving us anime.